everyone. In this video, we are going to study about the live load calculations for the roof trusses. So let's start. So the live load specifications for any civil engineering structures, they are provided by the Indian standard of 875. As I've already told you, this codal provision, it consists of the 5 parts. And out of that, the first part was dealing with the dead load, while the second part, it deals with the live load for any civil engineering structure. Now, when we are talking about the roof trusses which are provided on top of the industrial building, they are also obtained from the codal provisions of this code. Now, this live load, it depends whether we are providing the accessibility onto the roof or not. For example, if we are providing the industrial building in this form, then it may be possible that the accessibility onto the roof is not provided. That means we do not want any person to go over there, because the live load, it consists of such type of loads which are moving in nature. That means they are not constant. While in the case of the dead load, this load was constant with the time. That means the mostly the self weight of the structure that was consisting the part of the dead load. But in case of the live load, it is moving in nature. It means an object will not be at a constant position. It will not be at a static position. It will be a moving object, and because of that, the live load will be varying. And for that, the code has provided us certain guidelines whether we are providing the accessibility or no. Now, this live load is also known as the imposed load. That means it was not initially when the building was constructed over there, because it is applied by the users of that particular structure. If we are applying, that means we are imposing that particular load, and that's why the name comes as the imposed load. Now, this live load for the roof trusses, it depends upon two factors, and one of the factors is the slope of the roof. If the slope of the roof is more, obviously then there will not be accessibility. And second factor that affect the live load, that is the accessibility, whether it is provided or not. Now, according to this IS 875 part 2, there are guidelines which are provided. So let me write that. So the roof slope, that is the first factor that is depending. So roof slope, that is the first factor that is deciding the nature of the live load, and accessibility is the second factor which governs that. So if the roof slope is less than 10 degrees, that means the slope which is made by the roof with the horizontal, that is known as the roof slope. And if that angle is less than 10 degrees, and in that case, if the access is provided over the roof, then the live load will be taken as 1.5 kilonewton per square meter of the plan area. That means that will be taken as the 1.5 kilonewton per square meter of the plan area. Here the plan area will be of the industrial building. Now, when we are talking about the building, so it must be consisting of certain area. When it will be projected on the horizontal scale, it will be having certain area. So for that area, we need to multiply 1.5 kilonewton, and we will get the actual live load on the industrial building. Now, if the roof slope is greater than 10 degrees, usually on the roof slopes less than 10 degrees, the access is provided. And on the roof slope greater than 10 degrees, access is not provided. So usually this is the case. Now, in this, the value of the live load that is taken as 0.75 kilonewton per square meter of the plan area. Now here, these values are also given in the kilogram per square meter. So if we simply convert them into newton per square meter, so it can be written as 75 newton per square meter, multiplying the value by 1000. Now this newton can be converted into kilogram, and that will be 7.5 into 10 raised to the power 3 kilogram. Because we will be multiplying that with the 9.81, which is almost equal to 10. So we will be getting this value as 7.5 into 10 raised to the power 3 kilogram per square meter. or if you want to convert that into kilogram per square centimeter, then it will be again 0.75 kilogram per square centimeter of the plan area. Now these are the values which are provided directly depending upon the angle of the roof slope. If slope is less than 10 degree or the greater than 10 degree. Now it may be possible that the roof slope may be varying. Now for that, the roof membrane sheets or the purlins, they are taken for every degree increase. For example, for roof membrane, sheets or the purlins, which are 0.75 kilonewton per square meter. That means we are taking the live load as 0.75 kilonewton per square meter for roof slope greater than 10 degrees. Now this will be deducted by 0.01 kilonewton per square meter for every degree increase in the slope. For every degree increase in slope, and this deduction is made up to 20 degrees. That means, for example, let's say if we are taking the roof slope to be 15 degrees, so for that live load will be taken as 0.75 minus 0.01 we need to subtract. Now this value will be subtracted after obtaining the excess above 10 degrees. So 15 degree above 10 degrees is 5 degrees. So that means the live load which will be there for the 15 degrees roof slope, that will be of 0.70 kilonewton per square meter. And for every increase above 20 degrees, this value has to be deducted by 0.02 kilonewton per square meter. So that is the first point. That means we need to deduct 0.01 for every increase in the slope up to 20 degrees, and it will be minus 0.02 kilonewton per square meter for every degree increase over 20 degrees. That means if the slope is greater than 20 degrees, then we need to deduct the value by 0.02 kilonewton per square meter. And in no case, the value of live load should be less than 0.4 kilonewton per square meter. That means this is the minimum value of the live load, which may be always taken if there are the values calculated coming lesser than these values. Now, another load which falls along with the live load, although the separate codal provisions are there for the calculation of this load, that is the Indian Standard 875 Part 3, that specifically deals with the IS 875 Part 4, that specifically deals with the snow load. Now these snow loads are usually combined with the live load because this snow load is not always present on the structure. It comes always in a season. So that is a seasonal load. That's why a separate codal provision has been made, but it is comparable with the live load. Now, if the structure is situated in such an area where roof is subjected to the snowfall, then the load for the snow will also be considered, and for designing, the snow load is considered the maximum of the live load and the snow load. For the designing purposes, the structure is considered to be taking care of the either the maximum of the live load or the snow load. It is considered that when there will be snowfall on the top of the structure will not be providing any access to the rooftop. And that's why only in this case the snow load will be taken, and if there is accessibility, then there will be live load only. Now this load of the snow, that depends upon the pitch of the roof. A pitch of the roof was basically the ratio of the rise to the span of the structure. Let's say if this was the roof truss, so this rise upon the span, that was defining the pitch. So that means if the value of the pitch is more, that means there will be more rise. And if the rise is more, obviously the snow will not be sticking to the top surface. It will not be stopped at that surface. It will be sliding down. And therefore there will not be any snow on the roof, and therefore there will not be any snow load. Now, when we are assuming the snow load, it is to be assumed to 2.5 kilonewton per square meter. This is taken for 1 millimeter depth of the snow. That means the depth of snow which is accumulated on top of the roof, if that is 1 millimeter, that is the depth of the snow, then the weight of that snow that will be taken as 2.5 kilonewton per square meter of the plan area. And if the slope of the roof, if that is greater than 50 degrees, in that case it is assumed that the all of the snow will not be accumulated and it will be sliding down. Therefore, then in that case snow load is neglected or it may be ignored. So these loads are calculated for the safety of the structure. Now in the next video we will study about the wind load which comes onto the roof structure. Thank you.